Joe, I would like to kind of kick off with you and kind of ask you if you could share some thoughts with us about this idea of moving people to action, not just to donate money, using social media to inspire volunteering and mobilize volunteers into action.
I think there are two questions that come into play for organizations that are looking to mobilize people, especially in the sort of in-between times, between crises and between big moments. And one is the sort of organizational framework that you're presenting to people, right? So on our campaign and with organizations that we work with at Blue State Digital, we try to make sure that they're adequately communicating not just the reasons that people should be involved in the cause, but the reasons why these people who are interested in this cause, for which they might have many opportunities to be involved in many organizations to choose from, should choose this organization because it's going to empower them more, because it's going to be more transparent with them, because it's going to offer them more concrete opportunities to participate. And so that organizational framework and that sort of bottom-up notion of how to run an organization is something that very frequently needs to be enforced from the top down in an organization. That tone and that ethos needs to come from the board, from the executive director, and that kind of thing. The second thing is finding the concrete opportunities that fit in with that. I would venture to say that a lot of times signing a petition isn't enough. I think people are very keenly aware of when their time is being wasted, or when the email that's in their inbox, or the message that's popped into their newsfeed, or the tweet that they're reading has been phoned in by staff who sit in a room with a whiteboard and aren't thinking that hard about stuff. And so what we try to do with the projects that we work on, and what we try to do on the campaign, is to always, when you sit in that room with the whiteboard with the staff and with people who are there, is to remember that you're there to help the volunteers. That even that you're lucky to do this full time, but that the responsibility is to those people who are out there who may only have 5 minutes or an hour, or maybe if you're lucky a couple of hours on a Saturday to give you, but to make sure that you're not wasting their time, because people know that that's what you're doing if you are.
And Andrew, what do you see happening in this arena of actual volunteer action? Do you see things happening through Facebook that are moving people to action?
So, I work for the startup. You might have heard of it. It's in the Bay Area. No, I think to kind of set the stage, it's important to kind of look at the big picture on Facebook. We've got more than 400 million active users. 100 million of them plus are in the US. They spend 197 minutes average per month on Facebook. The demographics are interesting. 54% of them log in daily, which is far and above really any other, I think, website out there. So we have a really engaged user base, and they're on there for all sorts of things, including volunteerism and community service. I can go into some more details. I've got some examples of how people have mobilized on Facebook, but I think it's important at the onset to kind of step back and look at how large of a network we're talking about here on our platform.
And do you see that there are ways that smaller nonprofits can intersect with what's going on Facebook? Obviously, you can put your cause on Facebook.
Sure, yeah. So for those of you out there, I don't know if you're all familiar with Causes, which is a very popular third-party app on Facebook that connects nonprofits with people who care about their activities. So, and the key really is the community. Again, can't emphasize that enough. And for the Causes app, you can be the National Wildlife Federation that just, I think, raised something almost $100,000 for Gulf Coast oil relief in a matter of days. Or you can be, a one-man operation who has a really good idea to do something positive in your community. So it really, that particular application kind of spans any size.
Thank you. Craig, do you have some thoughts on this one? I know that volunteering, moving people to volunteer action is not something that Craigslist does, but you sure move a lot of people to action and transaction.
I prefer to have as few thoughts as possible, but I have more like observations. I mean, speaking as a nerd, I love technology, but it's secondary to this. The deal is that, and frankly, I don't want to spend any time telling you what you already know, at least consciously, but if you want to move large numbers of people, remind people that they're part of something bigger than they are, and do something real about it. Good intentions are nice, but not enough. You do need, again, to get people together in a way that's real, and again, that matters somehow. I mean, there's this Victor Hugo quote, nothing so powerful as an idea whose time has come, and that's what this is about. Beyond that, the technology is then important as a means of getting people together in very large numbers and staying engaged with them. This will mean large commitments on the time of a lot of people. You know, and that's why, for example, I'll be doing customer service only as long as I live. Although, frankly, I haven't done any for about 30 minutes now. Bear in mind that this is nothing new. Do take a look and observe from past successful uses of social media, typically where nerds and policy wonks work together. The example I'm studying most with enormous success was a nerd who invented the printing press, Gutenberg. You know, his technology didn't go anywhere until this policy wonk named Martin Luther started using that technology as a means of propagating you know, some ideas, and that worked out pretty well. One big lesson, when you use social media, you're turning control of your message to the people who are part of this movement, and that's, of course, why we have a lot of different Protestant churches.
Jack, you spoke earlier this morning on a different panel about Twitter and what it has created. And I think you referred to the fact that, you know, there's a next evolution for Twitter. It's not just people commenting on something, but do you see moving people into action as part of what Twitter might lead to, or new other technologies like Twitter might lead to?
I think the biggest success of Twitter is it's been seen as a utility that people can come to and define their own product and their own social movement and really make it their own. They can put their own message out there, and I think technology is successful when it encourages and sparks more face-to-face interaction. That's, you know, I think that's the best usage of technology. And in terms of like what I've seen for creating these movements, you know, what's been really successful is really focusing a lot of energy on simplifying the message and making sure that the message you're trying to get across is in as few words as possible that are stark and bold, and Twitter helps with this because we only allow 140 characters. But the other thing that's really important that I think is missing from a lot of nonprofits and charities and service organizations is a sense of analytics. Where are we today? Where can we mark right now, and where do we plan to go? If you don't have that set of instrumentation and you don't know where you're coming from and where you intend to go to, it's very hard to figure out if anything is actually moving or not. So it's true within the organization, and it has to be kind of taken in from an organizational standpoint, but it's also true for anyone who you wish to participate. You know, people don't want to throw money over the wall. They want to give money, and then they want to see updates, and they want to see status of how that money is being used. And the more you use technologies like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Craigslist and all of these other things that we're improving every single day, the more you give opportunity to engage people who are willing to donate their time or their money or their service or their name or whatever you're asking them to do. So I think it's very, very important to constantly show a sense of momentum and show a sense of movement. And it's really as simple as updating a simple message every single day.